The law offices of Ron Scholes presents Miller on Sports, the only sports show that keeps you glued to your seat. Everything else is just talk. Now, here's your host, Richard Miller.
Oh, it's another wonderful day to be live in the city of Jacksonville, Florida. Welcome on in. It's Miller on Sports on this Monday afternoon. We always go weekdays from 4 until 6 p.m. Brought to you by the law offices of Ron Scholes, accident and personal injury lawyers fighting for you. Their website, youhurtwefight.com. If you've been suffering any serious injuries, maybe a neck, a backache, maybe brain, you can call them today. And if you've been in a car truck accident, you can contact the law offices of Ron Scholes. They receive no compensation until your claim is successfully resolved. They bring you Miller on Sports each and every afternoon right here. It's AM 1600 WZNZ. We bring in our buddy Richard Collier, former Jags offensive tackle. He joins the program just about every single Monday. He's Richard Collier. How you doing, Rich?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Oh, life is good. Life is good. We've got plenty of football. Of course, we had some football last night, but I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl. So we're good to go. Now, did you watch the Pro Bowl last night?
No, I didn't watch the walkthrough of professional athletes. I didn't watch it, man. It was I scammed it for a little while, but I mean, once I saw, how they were rushing, we practiced harder there than walkthrough.
And Rich, is there a way that you can make that more exciting? Maybe play flag football or something? Because I know every year we say this, the Pro Bowl is just kind of garbage. It's the guys aren't really trying their hardest. But is there a way you can make it more entertaining than what they did last night?
I don't think you can. I mean, flag football, I don't think a lot of people would get into. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the players, they have so much respect for each other to where they don't want to hurt anyone. And I don't think they're going to play that hard. I mean, and it's like boxing almost. You can't go in and play fight. You do it full speed, or you try to do it any other way, it's not going to look right. So, I think that it's really just a bad deal. To say they should really just end it. I mean, and just have like a Pro Bowl and where they, have the guys go out and, meet and greet with fans or something. I don't know, but I just think the game is just ridiculous. It's kind of hard to have an all-star game for football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. But I look at the numbers. It came out maybe 15 minutes ago. 12.5 million viewers tuned in, and that's 1.5 million more for the Major League Baseball's All-Star Game. So obviously the NFL is doing something right, and even if they put just a lackluster product out there, people are going to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I scammed just to see how Montel was doing and see how Drew was doing, so I want to see those guys play, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people who watch, they probably want to see, their player, or they want to see Cam Newton or, Ray Lewis, those guys. But I just feel like it's just, it's kind of not fair to put that kind of product out when everything else is so good. Mm-hmm. It's like, Nike putting out Air Jordans, and then they come out with some, cheap flip-flops. It
Rich,
just doesn't seem fair to the consumer, to me.
Well,
I don't really know what they could do to change it. So I guess, it is what it is right now.
Wow, Rich, I'm definitely going to have to take that one. I will quote you on that one, and I'll give you full credit, okay? Nike putting out flip-flops. Right, I love that. And we see that Rob Gronkowski, Patriots tight end, high ankle sprain, that'll be talked about all week long. He's going to play, right?
I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I thought maybe, he would, but, I'm hearing a lot of things about the ankle, and I know I've had high ankle sprains, and, I missed a good part of my junior year in college because of it. And, it looked pretty bad when I saw it again on film, how he got rolled up on. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. I think this will be a big key in them, either winning or losing the Super Bowl, because if he can go, he'll be fine, have a really good chance. But I think that he's so much a big part of that offense that they really need him to be not just play, but be 100%. So
now, when you had that,
I'm hoping he can go.
When you had that high ankle sprain, what did you just wear a boot and try and rest it and stay off of it? Was that what you did?
I know me. I tried to play, man. But the first game, I missed the next week's game, but the swelling had went down enough to where I felt I could move around. Mm-hmm. And I remember just I would put on these shoes and I would tape it as tight as I could before the game, and that's how I would play.
Wow.
But, it hurt all the way up until, oh man. I had that ankle injury, just off and on, just pain in it, all the way up until the off season of my second year in the NFL.
Gosh. Wow. Unbelievable.
And that was, I just realized one day, man, my ankle doesn't hurt. So those can be very, very, very strenuous and very, lingering. Mm-hmm. So he has to get it done right. I think that if he's not 100, well, man, forget it. It's the Super Bowl. You got to play.
Exactly. Exactly. That'll be the biggest topic all week. Rob Gronkowski's name will be mentioned. Eli Manning, Tom Brady, Hakeem Nicks, Victor Cruz. You can just go down the list. But for Rich, for you, is there one player that could be an X factor that nobody is talking about?
I think everybody knows who's going to be the big dogs in the game. You got your Cruz. I think that Manning will have a big game.
Interesting.
I really do. I think that a lot of attention is off of him. I think that he'll probably have a good game, and I want to see what that front four for New York does against the offensive line of New England.
Oh, for sure.
I really do.
He's Richard Collier.
I want to see how they use the tight ends against to help and chip, and I want to see how they do all that to see if they can really affect their pass rush.
Mm-hmm. He's Richard Collier joining us on this Monday afternoon, former Jags offensive tackle. We're talking some Pro Bowl and much more than that. We're talking Super Bowl 46. Game is 6 days away, Lucas Oil Stadium, Rich. Is there a huge difference between playing outdoors and playing in a dome?
I think that it's no excuse. The kickers don't have to worry about wind. You don't have to worry about slipping too much. Turf is really tight. You can cut good, you can run good, you get off good. So, all the fast guys will be fast, and it should be a very good game.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you focusing on one team more than the other? Do you like the Pats over the Giants, or vice versa?
I refuse to pick New England.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm just going to pick the Giants just by default because I remember playing New England, getting put out of the Super Bowl. It was getting put out of the playoffs in 2007, and it was bad for me because I missed the doggone bus. I got fined like $3,000, so I hate New England. I hate New England, man. So I can't cheer for those guys. A lot of bad memories at that place.
Oh, I'm sure. And was much of that caused because of Tom Brady, watching him on the other sidelines, watching him on the field, and just being amazed at what he could do?
Yeah, man. Because it's almost like guys it was like poetry in motion almost. He was amazing. He's an amazing football player. He really is. And as much as I do not like New England, you can't take away the fact that he's a very good football player, very good coach, and very good team all the way around, good organization, mm-hmm. Great owner. So, I think it just falls all downhill. All the greatness just rolls down onto the field.
Now, I think, Rich, for the Patriots, their secondary will obviously be a part of focus. Victor Cruz, those wide receivers. But I really like Vince Wilfork, a defensive tackle. He's just a big guy. He's probably closer to 400 pounds and 325, what he's listed at. How do you stop a guy like Vince Wilfork? Because it looks like when he's on, you can't do anything to stop him.
Yeah, and I saw that, late in the game with San Francisco. Not San Francisco, but with Baltimore. He came in and he was very, disruptive. He's a big guy. He kind of reminds me of, big Hainsworth in his prime. With those guys, you have to put four hands on a lot. You know, you have to put 4 hands on him, and you have to just stop that charge because he's a big man. And, I mean, we call Jones Drew a ball. He's a ball, but he's kind of like a bigger version of a ball. So you got to stop the rush. You know, you got to put hands on him quick. You got to put 4 hands on him. And you got to try to, just got to dig in there, man, and then anchor down.
He's our buddy Richard Collier, former Jags offensive tackle, talking some Super Bowl and a little Pro Bowl. Rich, it's always a pleasure. Hey, enjoy the game on Sunday, and I'm sure we'll talk in 1 week.
Oh, yeah, man, I will, man. You enjoy it too, brother.
All right, there he goes, our friend Richard Collier.